520 contestants. There is now only one winner out of 6 possible remaining survivors. This is the final round of the Squid Game. Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to Dreamworks Switch to Life, and in today's video, this is the finale of my Squid Game series, and I decided to release it today because, just like this series, the finale of the actual Squid Game TV show is coming out to Netflix today during season 3. Oh, and this is also my 7th video in my Squid Game series. So if you haven't seen the first 6 videos, or if you just want a refresher, go down below to the description for the playlist. But with that in mind, let's start the Squid Game. So, as I'm sure you are all aware, the final game of the Squid Game is, well, Squid Game. It's a very long, complicated game, but essentially, the remaining players are divided into 2 teams, the attackers and the defenders. In the original Squid Game, there was only 2 players remaining. Well, in this version, there are now 6 players remaining. And, well, that means we can split them up into teams of 3. So, unlike in the original, where there was only 1 winner, there are going to be 3 winners in this game. So how do we decide the teams? Well, I actually looked mostly at the Colonel. See, the Colonel is this guy from Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, and I don't know if you could tell, but he's a little bit specious, he's definitely racist, and I'm definitely thinking that he wouldn't partner up with any of the weirdos or freaks of this tournament. Because of that, since there's only 5 other contestants, he's going to pick the 2 most normal people. And that means that he will most likely partner with Roxanne Ritchie from Megamind, a normal human, and Barbara Lake from Tales of Arcadia, also a normal human. This means that the other team will be made up of Mr. Peabody, a talking dog, Agatha Gilman, a blue-skinned kraken. Yeah, remember what I said about the Colonel being racist? This is gonna be one of those cases. I feel like he would make an exception with Susan Murphy, however, if it wasn't for the fact that she could grow herself into a 50-foot tall giant. Now it comes to deciding which team will be the attackers and which team will be the defenders. In the series, it's up to a coin flip, so I'm going to be talking about both scenarios. Now, let's explain the rules of the game. Basically, the attackers have to get all the way from the bottom of the squid to the top of the squid's head, while the defenders are doing everything in their power to prevent it. Also, the attackers are given limitations, like they can only hop on 1 foot until they cross the squid's neck. But unlike normal Squid Game, everyone here is given a small knife to play with, basically meaning that they have to kill each other. So the defenders are trying to kill the attackers and vice versa. So, if the normal team is the attackers, that means that all Ginormica would have to do as a defender is grow 50 feet tall and then block access to the squid's head using her hand or something. And that makes it so that the other 2 members, Mr. Peabody and Agatha, can easily finish off the other 2 members. We know that Mr. Peabody is extremely smart and he's a skilled sword fighter, so I'm pretty sure he knows how to use a knife. As for Agatha, we never actually see any of her knife skills, but we do know that she trained to be a fighter. So I'm pretty sure that she would actually be able to come out on top. Oh, and for those of you wondering if she will compete as a giant kraken, no, she would have to be in the ocean to do that. And even if it was raining, that's not ocean water. That's just normal sky water. So unfortunately, in this game, she will not enter her giant kraken stage, but that is not going to prevent her from using her fighting skills. Heck, she can even use her laser eyes while she's in her small form. Meanwhile, you got the normal team, who is made up of the Colonel, who probably knows how to use a blade, but then there's also Barbara Lake, who we know what her chef skills are like. She is not good. And then, of course, there's Roxanne Ritchie, and while I will admit that Roxanne is a good fighter, that's only because she's used to using high-tech weapons. In hand-to-hand combat or a blade, she is not that good. So, unfortunately, the defenders will actually be able to kill the attackers. Thus, the freak team will kill the normal team, including the Colonel. However, what if the roles were reversed? What if the freak team was actually the attackers and the normal team was the defenders? Well, in that case, I'm pretty sure Ginormica would come in handy. She just grows 50 feet tall, takes one step, and boom, she's already at the squid's head. As for Agatha Gilman, like I said, she trained to be a fighter, and unlike Roxanne Ritchie and Barbara Lake, who don't really have that much in terms of close-up combat fighting skills, I'm pretty sure she'd be able to avoid them. The Colonel, however, he would most likely be gunning for her, which unfortunately means that Agatha would be in really high danger if it weren't for Mr. Peabody. See, Mr. Peabody is extremely smart, he's extremely cunning, and he's always able to think, I don't know, maybe 50 steps ahead. Because of that, he is able to outmaneuver the entire Defender team and eventually help Agatha get to the squid's head. And this would be really good because it means they wouldn't even have to kill each other. Yeah, instead, the attackers, made up of the 3 members of the Freak team, once they get to the squid's head, the defenders automatically lose the game, and that makes it so Death comes in and slaughters the entire defenders team. So the attackers win, and, well, like I said, in either scenario, the Freaks team wins. It took a very long time to get here. 6 months, 7 videos, 520 contestants, and our 3 winners of the Dreamworks Squid Game are Agatha Gilman from Ruby Gilman, Mr. Peabody, and Susan Murphy, aka Ginormica, from Monsters vs. Aliens. But hey, if we decided to split up this team and make it so that there is only one winner, I'm pretty sure that winner would be Mr. Peabody. Not only because, like I keep saying, he's a very skilled fighter, but he's also extremely smart and cunning, able to think many steps ahead, and I think he would have no problem coming up with a way to defeat a 50-foot tall giant. These 3 have made it to the finals, and they've won the game, which means that they win the grand prize from the Game Master. I have been hinting at his identity for 6 videos, and surprisingly, no one has actually gotten it. I dropped a major hint in the last one, but no one has come forward and said his name. Well, I'm about to say it, or should I say sing it. Welcome, Dread Overlord Scornor! Yes, the guitar riff is necessary. It's actually part of his name. Yeah, this is just a character from the book series of The Bad Guys, which is a Dreamworks property, but it would not surprise me if this guy showed up in the 3rd Bad Guys movie. And well, let's talk about him. Since he's basically a god of the multiverse, he can send his power down to anyone who decides to worship him and make it so that he can corrupt them with his own power and turn them evil. That's where he's getting all of the Squid Game henchmen, the pink mask people. They're the dead contestants who previously died in the other games and now have joined his army. Yes, you heard me right. These games are literally just a way for him to grow his army, and at the end of this competition, he now has 517 new recruits to join his evil multiversal empire. But he's also extremely sadistic to the point where he actually enjoys watching these people psychologically kill each other, and he even watches with his friends. Yeah, I'm actually going to assign some VIPs, and they are going to be none other than the Underlords that worship and serve the Dread Overlord Splorgon. But anyway, he decided that since that we do have 3 winners, he's going to give them the ultimate grand prize of using his dark, evil power, which he can easily use to corrupt them, so that they can create their own universes from scratch. And well, that's exactly what happens. So unfortunately, the game ends with a very low note. Our 3 winners actually become underlings to this guy. They become the VIPs, and they become corrupted underlords, and that makes it so that they will gladly participate in watching the next Squid Game. Now, for the record, I don't really have an intention to make a sequel Squid Game, but if this becomes super popular to the point where we get over 1,000 views on all 7 videos, I will actually make a season 2. But until that happens, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel, and if you really want to help support it, be sure to join my membership program. But with all of that in mind, make sure that you're staying safe out there, and I will see you all in the next one. Oh, and also, have fun watching Squid Game Season 3. Bye-bye!
And then we just have to
tear them apart, limb by limb, until all they can remember is pain.
Wow, okay. I was gonna say stop him, but sure, if there's time, we can do the limb thing.